2.3 explain. I believe this is where we get into division problems. Let's just see and check it out. Negative and negative both work together. First off, if they're both negative, it's going to be a negative answer, and because they work together, you'll end up with 5 of them because 2 plus 3 is 5. Again, when they are the same, you add them. If they are different, you subtract them. Negative 1 and positive 10, the winner would be the positives because 10 is bigger. Because they're different and they compete, you subtract. 10 minus 1 is 9, or the positives win by 9 would be how I view it. Positive 2, positive 6 would leave me with positives. They both work together, and 2 and 6 make 8 of them. Negative 8, negative 4, it's all negative, so it should be negative. 8 and 4 together, working together, make 12. Positive 8, negative 6, the winner should be the positives because 8 is bigger, and the positives would win by 2 if this was a competition. Alright, what value is with G? The G is over 16, so obviously G is with 16. The operation being shown because of this line means division, and the opposite of division is multiplication. That is our new information that we just learned today. What value is with C? C is over 16, so 16 is with C. Because of this line, it means it's division, and the opposite of division is multiplication. Very repetitive, but again, that's just getting used to the decisions. The value with Y is 16 again. The 16 is in a fraction form, so we know it's division, and the opposite of division is multiplication. The value with Y here is 13. The operation being shown is division because it's in a fraction. Again, that fraction means division, and the opposite of division is multiplication. I'm just hitting enter to move forward after I do that. Here this time the value with G is 13, so I guess we're doing review now. 13's with G. Because there's no symbol, because they're right next to each other, remember that means multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. The value with G here is 13. 13 is right next to it, which is multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. Here, the value with P is positive 35. The operation being shown because of that, remember, is addition because it's P plus 35. The opposite of addition is subtraction, and that should lead me to the right answer there. Here, the value with H is positive 65. That means it is addition being shown, and the opposite of addition is, as we know now, hopefully, subtraction. Here, the value with Q is negative 36. This is subtraction being shown, and the opposite of subtraction is addition. Here, the value with N is negative 33. It is subtraction being shown, and the opposite of subtraction is addition. The value with C in this case is 17. Now we have to solve it, so let's be careful. C is with 17. If I want to move this 17 and it's being divided, the opposite of division is multiplication. The way we show multiplication in our work is by putting that number in parentheses. That means times 17 times 17. When we do that, the 17's go away. C comes down. 8 times 7, I believe, is 136. Again, if you don't know, feel free to use the question help calculator and type it in right there. The value with F here is 13. If I want to move this 13 away from F and it's F divided by 13, it means I must multiply. Remember, the way I show multiplication is by using parentheses. So times 13 is how that's read. 8 times 13, 24, carry the 2 makes 104, with AF coming down over here. The value with M in this case is 20. If I want to move this 20, it's M divided by 20, so I would do times, because the opposite of division is 20, so times 20 there, times 20 there. Those two things go away, bringing down M. 2 times 12 is 24. We'll add a 0 to it. 240 would be what you get there. The value with S here is 15. If I want to move this 15, it is being divided, so I need to multiply by 15. 14 times 15 would be 225 minus 15, which I believe is 210. And S, again, the 15s go away. And that is that. Again, the reason I can do that is because I've been working with numbers a long time. The more you work with them, the better you get with it. For you basketball players, it's kind of like ball handling. You couldn't dribble one day, and all of a sudden you can dribble everywhere you want. Just have to practice it. The value with A is a 20. If I want to move this 20, this is 20 times A, which means I must divide by 20, because the opposite of multiplication is division. So divided by 20 there, divided by 20 there. The 20s go away, leaving me with A. 20 goes into 24 12 times. I think we just saw 24 or 12 times 20 before. The value with Y here is a 14. If I want to get rid of this 14, I must divide, because that is 14 times Y, and the opposite of times is divided by. So divided by 14, divided by 14, is that ends in an 8, 7. And the 14s go away, leaving me with just Y. The value with B here is a positive 95. If I want to move this positive 95, I must do a negative 95 to both sides, or subtract 95 from both sides using the opposite. B comes down over here. 196 minus 95, I believe, is 101. The value with G is a positive 40. If I want to move this positive 40, I must put minus 40 here and minus 40 there, because remember, the opposite of plus is minus. 94 minus 40, I believe, is 54. Remember that the 40s go away, leaving me with just G. The value with G here is negative 63. If I want to move this negative 63, I must use the opposite, which means plus 63. Remember, our decisions should be getting more fluent now. 41 and 63 makes 104. That's 10. 4 plus 6 makes 10, and 3 and 1 make a 4. That's where I got the 104 from. The value with T here is a negative 31. If I want to move this negative 31, I must use the opposite, which is a positive 31. That makes 77, which is the year I was born. Yes, I'm that old. It was in 1977, not 2077. I'm so old, I'm in the 1900s. Anyway, that is it. And that does represent the end of this section. You should have a quiz being ready for you. Just make sure you take your time and make the proper decisions on that quiz, and you should be okay. Again, email me if you have any issues with anything. I'm always here to help.